Hey guys, Czar back with you. Hope all is well. It's 3:27. We're coming up to the last half hour of the session here today. But I'm just seeing a little something here, maybe a snapback after this very, very strong day. We've had a bit of a retracement here. Of course, I took advantage of that for a nice 2-hour trade to the downside in the Dow short. Now I'm looking for a move back up again. Here we go. Buy stop order, guys. Buy stop order. Risking 30. To make 60 best case scenario. Buy stop live order. Live order. Just want to be very, very clear. In fact, that's where I want to be. I want it to blow past that body as well of that first pivot area. I'm asking quite a bit from it here. Bear with me for one moment. Here we go. Almost in. Almost in here, guys. This is very much time of day trade. Right? There's no break above prior candle here on the 30. Don't need that for this time of day, given what we typically see in the last 30 minutes. It's 3:29 in 5 seconds. 3:29 at 3:30. We should see a little burst of action here. You'll see it. It'll be very clear. I just can't say for sure if it's going to go my way or not. I don't need to know for sure because I'm flipping a coin here, protecting the downside. This is 1R. This is 2R. That's 1.5R. Here we go. 20 seconds left. 20 seconds left until 3:30. Watch the little flurry of activity, one way or the other. Five seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Watch. Nothing. That was incredibly uneventful, somewhat boring. So now what I'd like to see, of course, at 3:30 is this little pullback here on the 30. Let me show it to you here. A little bottom wick, like you see here right now, and then flipping white and breaking the high of that. If that happens, bodes well for this trade. Doesn't mean I'm going to make money, but it certainly helps the case. That's the target 1. That's the target 2. And of course this is the target 3. Target 3 being 2R. I'll put you on pause for now and bring you back. And just to be clear, this is looking at the 30-minute chart. This is a trend continuation trade, right? Impulse, corrective, impulse, corrective, impulse into the close. That's the trade idea. No clue if it's going to happen like that. Impulse, corrective, impulse, corrective, impulse, right? I just had a trade coming down this way on the impulse wave. Traded in a 2R winner there, 68 points I believe it was. On on the impulse, on the corrective. Now we're looking for the other piece of it, which is the impulse wave, right? So even in this, this is a big corrective wave here. This could be the beginning of an impulse. In other words, call this a leg 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you believe in anything related to Elliott wave or any methodology like that, and I believe in elements of it certainly. Not so much the wave counts, by the way. And I studied Elliott wave in depth with Robert Prechter and Frost back in the 1980s, late 80s, and mid to late 80s, I believe it was, and certainly in the early 90s. The Elliott wave theorist and Elliott wave by Frost and Prechter. And did a lot of work on it. The wave counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC corrective. C being the most cataclysmic of all waves, ending in the span of travel of wave 4, etc., etc. I think the usefulness really is in impulse and correction, just understanding thrust and retracement. And back on pause. A little bit of movement going on here. Kind of made our way to about 0.55 R. We'll see if this thing can push higher. Back on pause. New high for the move, pushing up a little bit. I'll just randomly pause you for the rest of the video instead of repeating it all the time. I'm going to flip this over to a 2 minute, see if we can clean it up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That's a cleaner chart. Not quite as rickety. And there we are, tapping 1R. And so now the all or nothing 1R traders are done. They're fully profitable on the trade. Let me bring this out so you can see exactly what I mean by that. Referring to, hopefully you've seen this by now in the last few videos, I show the 4 models of profit taking. Model 1 is an all or nothing 1R trader. Model 2 equals scale up. Model 3, 3, 2, 1. And Model 4 is a 1, 2, 3. So the Model 1 trader, if they are using 1R, all or nothing, they take all 6 units. So he's just using a 6 unit position size. Anything divisible by 6, 600 shares, 60 shares, 6 shares, 6 units of an ETF. It could be 6 lots in FX or micro lots or whatever the case may be. Mini micro contracts and so on. So the 1 all or nothing trader is done. They've hit 1R, they've taken all 6 units off at 1R, and the trade is over. The Model 2 trader is scaling out equal parts, took off 2 units here, are waiting to take 2 more off here, and then 2 more off here. The rest remains in the trade in the meantime. Model 3 is taking off 3 units. Half of their position is now gone. They're taking a partial. And the Model 4 has taken off only 1, hoping for even bigger size to be taken off higher up here on this long trade. And we haven't yet spoken about what happens with the stop loss. So let's take a look at that real quick. 4 options for your stop loss. You can leave the stop in place with no changes right here. You can trail the stop to break even. Let's say when prices hit target 1, you move your stop to break even and leave it there for the duration or the life of the trade. The third option is to trail the stop to target levels. So when you hit target 1, you might move the stop to break even. If you hit target 2, you might move the stop to target 1. If you hit target 3, you move the stop to target 2. And if you have a target 4 or 5 or 6, you just keep on doing that all the way up until you get stopped out or the trade is over. And the final one is to move stop to pivot levels. So for instance, you see we got triggered in here. We pulled back and formed a pivot. The pivot trader would move their stop to here. If this pulls back, say to this moving average and continues higher, they would then move their stop to under that pivot. You can usually see the pivots better with day trading on a 1-minute chart. See that pivot there? You might consider this a pivot. I don't. A nice pivot, V pivot. This would be a pivot. This would be a pivot. You get the idea. And there we go. I'll put you back on pause. New high for the move briefly and then pulled back. This is the third trade of the day, guys. The first trade was taken just before the New York Open right here. It was this long trade. It was a nice 2-hour winner, And the second trade was here, pull back. It was a 2-hour winner. And now we've already hit 1 hour on this trade. So it's been a good day despite being very bored for most of it because I was sitting through this whole thing with essentially nothing to do. But that's fine. Nothing when I say nothing to do. I've been working on all kinds of projects while that's happening, but no trades. And by the way, I just want to make it very clear. I actually don't really get bored. I always find something to do to keep my hands busy and mind busy while waiting for my optimal setups. And I encourage other traders to do the same. I just meant there wasn't any trading to be done during that period. And pause. Well, nearing the end of the day here, guys, and we just hit that 10-2-4 algorithm. I should have had it on play so we could watch it together. Big flurry down. Now the break-even trader, of course, is sitting here going, I'm about to get hit. I'm about to get stopped out at break-even. The other models, of course, have taken partials and or the entire position off. And pause. All right, driving down here now into the close. It's 3:55 p.m. Almost 3:56. Let's see if this thing gets stopped out right at the close of the day. A little profit taking going on. We'll tell you that after the close, Nvidia is reporting earnings, so we'll see if that affects. Obviously, this is the Dow we're trading here, but the markets all the 3 indices will be impacted by whatever happens with Nvidia, no doubt. Watch that happen together. All right, 2 minutes left in the day. This is a regular trading hours. Of course, I'm trading futures, which continue to trade after 4 o'clock. I'm going to see how I handle this. If we don't get stopped out immediately, I may hold on to them for a little bit afterwards. Sometimes we get a reversal of current action. In other words, the close action, the actual going into the close, sometimes gets reversed right afterwards. We'll see. But I think we may get stopped out here. Going to put this on full screen. Delete the stop loss piece and we'll talk about this. So once again, the one all or nothing trader profited fully. They got out completely from this trade. All three other models took a piece of the action off here at target 1, 2 units, 3 units, or 1 unit, and then potentially moved their stop to break even or even trailed some up depending on how they manage the stop part of it, right? This stuff here. So there are so many different combinations of ways that these trades can be done, and again, I encourage you to think about these as just foundational models to begin to implement in your own trading practice. You can test them out on demo accounts or live accounts with very small positions if you haven't done this before, and see what fits. Try them on and see what fits in terms of your nature, temperament, psychology, mental wiring, DNA, all those things, and it's different for everyone, right? Very important to understand that there's almost no rhyme or reason as to why one method just seems to fit like a glove. I just love the way this feels, whatever it is. 2R all or nothing, or moving my stop to break even at 1R and going for 3, whatever it might be, and then just begin to apply that consistently in your trading and see what happens. Monitor the results, but still look at what the other models would have done in those trades like we're doing here, and that'll give you a more rounded perspective to give you more information to work with. All right, it's 4 o'clock, guys. It's 4 o'clock and 40 seconds. The market has closed in terms of the regular trading hours. I'm going to watch this now and see what happens. Yeah, we'll watch this. Pause you until we get some movement here. Pushing up here a little bit. Now, since we are after hours, another way to manage this trade, some traders might decide that if we get back to 1R again, since it's after hours, just to take profit and close the trade there if they're still in. Of course, if they're not still in, they're probably not watching it, right? So that could be a firm closeout trade, take profit right here at target 1. Despite being there earlier, if they let it come back again, or if they still have partials, to perhaps just close them out right now, or wait for it to hit target 1R, if it gets there. So many ways to do this. Because now you're factoring in time of day, right? A thinner market. My spreads are still very good on my platform, but I know that on some they wouldn't be after regular trading hours. Let me just give you a hint. If I was still in this trade, I would probably be taking my profit right about now, or at 1R if we get there. I might even dance a little bit and put my full closeout target right there on 1R. And if we start to break down below this body, for instance, to close it out, that's just another way to look at it. And that has everything to do with the fact that we are after regular trading hours. There you go. So I would possibly be out there. I was out earlier, guys. I got tempted to tell you what I was doing in my account. I've been doing it for 645 odd videos, but this is very much now about teaching different models and you really deciding what makes sense for you. Pause. Now at some point here, NVIDIA is going to announce earnings, and we're going to see a flurry of action on the NASDAQ, no doubt, and possibly all three. We'll see. All right, guys, watching closely now. I think we're about 1 minute, possibly 1 minute away from NVIDIA reporting. It is very much after hours now. It's 4:19 p.m. Regular trading hours closed, of course. Still in this trade. Been grinding sideways here for a bit. 45 seconds left. That's if they report at 4:20. Here we go. Nothing yet. I am watching the Three Sisters on a different chart. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. And 2R, guys. Just hit 2R on the trade. I'd like to see it go right through that line, but I think it's pretty darn close. We're close enough for 2R for there. The target was 476, and that hit 475 and a bit. Here are the Three Sisters, all three of them, of course, affected. The Dow less than the others, of course. I'm just going to check my platform to see what the actual high was here. My settings have changed here. Just give me one moment. Put you on pause while I'm doing this. All right, guys, I'm back. So my platform hit 575, 1 point below the 2R. As you can see, it's as good as 2R, but since it didn't actually cross that line, and that's the way I like to see it, I'm going to record this trade as target 2, 1.5R. I think that's the only most fair and transparent way to do this. And so the way I'm tracking my trades now is the trade is over if my original stop loss order is hit or my furthest target is hit. It doesn't matter what any individual trader may have done in between with moving their stops or taking partials or anything like that, including myself for that matter, and then marking the furthest advancement or the loss. In other words, if I don't get to target 1, it goes straight to break even. If it goes straight through break even and to a loss, and this would be a -1 loser. In this case today, it's almost hit target 3 2R, but I'm going to mark it as a 1.5R winner for the reasons that I mentioned. Thanks for being with me today, guys. Interesting day. It's a 5.5R day for me. 2 trades at 2R and this trade at 1.5R. So not a bad day. 3 trades by the end of it, even though I sat for several hours without even the remote promise of a setup. But eventually they came. Have a great night, guys. Thanks again. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.